Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Commute Talk. It's been a few days since I had the car, but now we're back. So, a couple of days ago, somebody asked me in a comment about work-life balance, and I wanted to find the comment and paste it here as a screenshot, but I couldn't find it, so maybe whoever asked it deleted it, or I'm just bad at searching on YouTube. But anyways, the question was sort of about work-life balance and do I maintain other hobbies than Serenity, or do I just dump all of my free time into this one project? And the answer is that I definitely dump all of my available time into working on Serenity. And that's the way it's been since the start, more or less. And that's the way I like to keep it. Now, I definitely have other things that I would like to do, but I don't want to do them as much as I want to work on the operating system. And those things include playing video games, making music, and I don't know, being social, I guess. I tend to, I try to do a little bit of socializing just because I know that it's a muscle that you have to train every now and then, but it's not something that I do a lot of. And to be honest, whatever it is that I'm doing, it's always secondary to the work on the system, because I don't know. This is just I found something here with the system that allows me to focus on something productive and build something that I care about, and it's just so much more satisfying than any other activity that I've been doing in the past. Now, this of course is coming from someone whose main activity or main interest in the past was drugs, right? And now that that's not my interest anymore, and I'm not interested in that at all, it's like, this is actually something that a lot of people who get clean after years of abusing drugs, they often share this experience that suddenly you have so much time and you're confused about what you're going to do with all this time, because there's no mind sponge greater than addiction. It just completely soaks up every last molecule of attention in your brain. And when you get out of that, it's really bizarre just how much time you suddenly have. And in the beginning, after I got clean, it was difficult to fill up all the time. That was like one of the big challenges, really. And I ended up like playing. I got some Zelda game from my brother, and I ended up just playing it nonstop until I beat it, and then I got another one, and I beat that, and got another one, and beat that, and somehow there was just never enough to fill up like the whole day. And it wasn't really until I started on this programming project that I found something that was like large enough and interesting enough that it could soak up all of the demand that I had for I don't know, whatever this is, like the giant hole, I guess, that was left, giant addiction-shaped hole in my life. And obviously, I understand that you can think of this as like trading one addiction for another, and it's not far from the truth, but sometimes you have to compromise on the side of health and sanity, and and you have to be willing to trade some really bad habit for a really good habit. And that's how I feel I've chosen to do this, that I've traded all of my really bad habits for one really intense good habit. Or, I mean, it's a cluster of habits, right? Because um, if you think about how much time you have in a day, if you're working a full-time job like I do, then on a weekday you have about 4 hours to yourself that you get to do whatever you want with. And um, I mean, at least in my case, because I commute, and I get to sort of do what I want on the commute. Like, I can record this video, right? But at the same time, if I didn't have the job, I wouldn't be commuting. So I don't really consider this my time. But anyway, I have about 4 hours each day that I can spend as I like. And um, I find that it's just more valuable to me to take the large part of those 4 hours and just put them into the Serenity project, because the value that I get out of that in terms of like the sense of accomplishment, sense of progress, and sense of enjoyment, and also this feeling of engaging with people through videos about the system, and interacting with people who comment, who send messages, and everything. There's like this great, I don't know, there's this great feeling to that, and I don't have any other hobby that gives me anything like it. So all of my other hobbies seem so weak compared to this one. And like, I enjoy playing video games, for instance, but I don't enjoy it nearly as much as I enjoy working on Serenity. And I don't. It's nice to relax sometimes, but I get restless. Honestly, I'm a very, very restless person, and I enjoy playing games. I enjoy socializing occasionally, although I am very confused on how to socialize with people without alcohol or drugs, because that's another thing. If the way that you always know how to socialize with people is by consuming drugs together, then once you stop doing that, it's like you go back very far in time to I don't know when, like somewhere in pre-high school age, right? That was the last time I knew how to hang out with someone properly without thinking about getting high or drunk or something. So it's weird. But I do socialize with people occasionally. Like, I know that it's like a habit that you have to maintain, and a muscle that you have to train occasionally. So I do that, but it's not a primary thing for me. And yeah, so you have the 4 hours every day to spend on what you like. And some of that is going to be eating. Some of that is going to be taking care of your home. Taking care of the people in your home, if you're living with people and you take care of them. And, a little bit of taking care of yourself. So let's say optimistically that if you're very efficient at all those other things, you would have 3 hours to spend on the thing that you like to spend your time on. And that's where I end up. So that's what I do. I don't recommend it for everyone. I definitely recognize that everyone's different. People have different desires, different goals, different needs. For me, this is the right way at the moment. And I am really, really grateful that I have the opportunity to engage with so many people while I'm doing this. And the fact that so many of you have taken an interest in what I'm working on, it really, really warms my heart, and it really it means so much to me, and it's so helpful to me in my own, like, personal struggles, I suppose. And it is really, really helpful for me to have a platform like this where I can just speak openly about how I really feel, what I really think, and what my problems really are. And I don't try to pretend like everything is great. I don't try to pretend like I know everything. I don't try to pretend like anything, really. I'm just trying to be very real. And I mean, that sounds like there's a scale. I just want to be real, a real person, and a real human being. And I think that that's something that we can never have too many real people on the internet, because it's very, very. I very much understand why people get into this path of building up a persona online, because there's a protection in that, right? Like, you protect yourself, you protect your feelings, your ego, your safety, and all kinds of things. And it's a conscious choice to be real and not have a persona. And I hope that something good comes out of it. Yeah. I guess I don't know what else to say about this. I do have other hobbies, but I end up spending my time on Serenity because it's more fun and more rewarding than any of my other hobbies. And I know that my other hobbies are not going to go away. Like a while ago, I was thinking that when World of Warcraft Classic comes out, I am for sure going to play that, right? It just seemed obvious, because I was super into it back in the day, and I just wanted to play it again. But then when it came out, it just seemed like, well, do I really want to take time off from Serenity? And if I start playing, isn't it just going to be like every other time that I played Warcraft, where I end up playing, 7 hours a night on work nights, and then just taking that right out of the sleep account, and then going to work like a zombie the next day, and then repeating every single day all the time, and just having a terrible time, having a terrible life. I don't want to do that. And even if I could do it in a balanced way, I wouldn't want to lose all of that time that I could be spending on this project instead. Yeah. So it's like a constant confusion for me, this whole thing, like where to spend the time. So I'm really just playing by ear, doing the thing that's interesting at the moment. But I'm really not trying to give anyone any advice here. I'm only just talking about me. I don't have any idea how other people should live their lives. I have no opinion about you or how you should live your life. That's up to you. But I have to say one more time that I do find that when I do something that feels genuinely rewarding with my free time, then everything else just kind of fades into the background and seems less important and less interesting. And hopefully I'm doing the right thing. But we'll see. We'll find out, I guess. A friend of mine always says, if you survive, you'll find out. And I guess that makes sense. So if I survive, I will find out. I guess I'm definitely out of things to say here, so I'm just going to stop yapping. But thank you, whoever asked the question. I don't remember who you were, but thank you. It's an interesting subject, and I'm happy to talk about it. and it gives me a chance to think about it, because maybe you can tell when I'm talking that I haven't really thought these things through properly. I like to do these single take videos where I think as I go, because I find that then you get honest answers, honest reactions, and if I say something silly, then I have to reconsider it on the spot, and it's good to show that process. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, everybody, and I hope you like the new DevTools hacking series. By the way, it's really fun to get to work on the IDE, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see where we go with that, because the more I work on it, the more I realize that this is not going to be that difficult to get something basic working that will feel really nice to use. At least I get that impression that the polish is going to be the hard part here. Like getting something working well, that's going to be pretty straightforward. We'll see how long it takes to polish it up real nice, but it's exciting stuff, and it's really fun with a great response that the new series was getting. And I'm going to keep doing them, but probably weave in some OS hacking and browser hacking videos soon. But let's keep pushing forward and having a good time. So thanks everyone again for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.